Friends, let's settle in. I would invite you that wherever you are in this moment, that you have paused, that you've shown up, that you now allow yourself to be comfortable. Find a position, both where you're seated or where your body has come in this moment, and just get comfortable there. And then allow yourself to be comfortable within the body. Try not to focus on the spots that typically give you pause or concern. If you start to notice something, just adjust. Don't get frustrated, but get to a point where you can truly be comfortable, not just in your seat, but in the physical being of you. And as you arrive at that space, working toward comfort, I would invite you to close your eyes when you're ready, or cast your eyes down. And let's begin to just take a few breaths together. So gently breathing in, and then ever so gently exhale it out. Breathing in, breathing out. In, out. And then from there, as the body is growing just a bit calmer, settle into a rhythm of breath that nurtures how you feel in this moment. Whatever you need from the breath, allow it to offer that to you. It can bring vibrancy. It can calm you. It can help you to maintain the balance that you've already found. So use the breath as your ally. As the body gets comfortable, you get comfortable in that body. Let the breath be your ally through the whole process. Just a gentle, compassionate breath in, and then a same gentle and compassionate breath out. And as we are on the cusp of this incredible event in our atmosphere and our energies, just our universe tomorrow, I'd like to focus these few minutes that we have on what this eclipse can teach us. There are people around this country, probably around the world even, traveling miles and miles just to catch a moment of what this eclipse, this incredible phenomenon in nature, will offer. Just think about it. They've changed their schedules. Many have gotten on airplanes. Many have driven miles and miles in their car, all for the chance to catch a glimpse of this amazing phenomenon in nature. But what I'd like us to do in these few minutes that we have is just marvel in the way that nature keeps showing up, not to impress us, but to teach us again and again and again. I always go to the cycles of the moon, and every 28 days we're reminded that the moon is full. And then each day to follow, we're reminded that stuff gets in the way and the light is not nearly as visible until all of a sudden the light isn't even there anymore. But the moon itself never changes. Things just get in the way. I think about the sunrise and the sunset, and we see pictures that people paint and pictures they take with their phone of a beautiful sunrise or a beautiful sunset, and they just marvel. But again, it's not that nature's trying to impress us. It's nature's trying to remind us of a lesson, that with the rising of the sun, we have a new opportunity, a new day to contribute to humanity, to our own peace and the peace of others. And then just hours later, that sun sets, signifying that this day is done. And as Emerson reminds us, we don't bring the troubles of today into tomorrow. We leave them in the yesterday. So again, nature teaching us lessons. And so while I can't quite imagine in my mind just yet what tomorrow will look like for those few minutes that this eclipse comes across my path, I've thought a lot in the last few days about the lessons that I think this phenomenon of nature is trying to teach us. I have a song that I play a lot in my personal practice, sometimes in my classes that I teach, and it's by Trevor Hall, and he says, "You can't rush your healing." And if that's all he said in the whole song, that sentence is enough. You can't rush your healing. But it's the next line that's really made me sit with what lesson this eclipse is going to have for us tomorrow. Because the next line of that song says, darkness has its teachings. Just listen to that again. Darkness has its teachings. And the next line he says, but love is never leaving. You can't rush your healing. So his song, his lyrics are telling us that we've got to sit with our darkness sometimes, that there's something for us to learn. There's something the darkness is going to teach us. And it's not the darkness of the light off in the room, or it's the darkness of tomorrow when the sun is blocked out as the moon takes its spot between the earth and the sun. It is the darkness of the path that we walk. For some of us, it has deep historical roots. For some, your darkness just started by a new circumstance, a new situation, a new struggle. And while tomorrow, I would venture to say millions of people are traveling to see this glimpse of darkness, I hope that we can truly see the value beyond just this amazing phenomenon in nature. That when that darkness comes across our mid-afternoon sky, we'll remember that the darkness has teachings for us. But just like after tomorrow, these seconds or these minutes of however long this event will happen, the darkness will begin to leave and the light will return. The same thing happens in our lives. I know we wish it could be the seconds or the minutes of an eclipse for our darkness, but the lesson that I think that the universe and nature is trying to remind us of is the darkness does have teachings, but it's also impermanent. It does not last forever, even though sometimes we think that's exactly what it is. So what I'd like us to do is just sit. If your mind starts to wander, you start to think about this eclipse, you start to picture things, don't stop yourself, just imagine, just see, and then gently come back to your breath. Don't try to change anything about what the mind is doing, just notice it and come back. If the mind takes you to whatever darkness is that you're walking through, or if it reminds you of the darkness that you've just recently come through, the suffering, the struggle, again, don't change your thoughts. Don't try to fix them, just notice them. And come back and pay attention to the breath again. And let's just sit with this idea of we are all healing. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, every single day. We heal from the impacts of this world. We're healing from the impacts of previous generations that have lived before us. We're healing from our own actions, our own decisions. and the actions and the decisions of others. But the point in all of that is we're healing. We can't rush it. There's learning to be had. So let's just sit, slow breath in, slow breath out, breathing with compassion, noticing your thoughts, and sitting with the darkness the same way the world will pause and sit with it tomorrow. And as you continue to breathe, if it feels comfortable, I would invite you just to put one hand right at heart center. Just press it right there on your chest. Because usually when we're experiencing darkness, when we're struggling, we feel it right here. Sometimes we think we can almost see the darkness right here at our heart. But what I will assure you of is even when you feel the darkness right here where your hand is lightly resting at heart center, if you'll take your attention just a few layers deeper, beyond the tissues and the muscles, beyond the pain and the struggle and the sorrow, go deeper. And that's where you'll find your light. In the same way tomorrow that the light will return as the moon begins to shift. If we'll just keep looking inward, deeper beyond the darkness, beyond the struggle, you will see the light. This practice helps us to discover it. And each time we sit and we show up and we catch a glimpse, it's our reassurance that the darkness does have its teachings, but there's also light right there next to it. So as you witness this amazing event in nature, in the universe, in our atmosphere tomorrow, marvel at how amazing nature is. And in that split second, when the moon gets just right in its position between the earth and the sun, and your afternoon sky darkens, remember these words. You can't rush your healing because darkness has its teachings. But love is never leaving. You can't rush your healing. Namaste.